mortgage, and we doing the we gotta do one day. I'm already sharing my screen. How about that? I think I'm already sharing my screen. Yeah, share screen. Perfect. 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 Oh, I ain't even send you the joint, yo. I should have. Maybe I should have did the. Yo, my bad. Forgot about that. I got it. I got in my zone. I should have sent you a link. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'm talking to you, Mike, and I didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. I meant to do um what did I mean to do? That's what I meant to do. Mm-hmm. Everything done. All right. Yeah, I forgot to do that. So I have a class right now, but I'm not doing it. I'm doing the I'm gonna postpone that till Monday. So I got some free time and I need some content. So what I'm going to do is I am going to talk about funding, right? Funding, credit, the money. Um, yeah. So ways to get it, where it's at, um, and I'm gonna record it on this. And I got a Zoom going right now. I'm gonna record the Zoom, and I'm gonna have that for myself. But basically, man, it's all good. I see you right here, Mr. Brown. Bang, bang, bang. There you go. This was yo, yo. Uh oh, wait a minute. There we. Uh oh, that's my chest. That's not sexy. What's up? Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, so you sharing your screen? That's funny. I see myself in your screen.
Oh, do you? I don't know. I'm talking to myself. I'm thinking you see me, but it's all good. I can see you. I can see you. That's what's up.
I guess that's really all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I had a Zoom tonight scheduled. I
Right.
do them. I do them every Thursday, but the person I'm doing it for, we moving it to Monday. So I'm gonna do the
Got
last
it.
week of, well, yeah, the business formation and the credit on Monday. So I have a window. I don't know why I'm looking at this when you can't see me. But you, so I'm gonna do it on Monday. So what I realized was like the the business credit and the funding was a good hit. People like that,
Right.
right? The
Yeah.
content, just the idea of like, to know some stuff maybe people didn't know before. So what I realized was like, yo, I'm gonna go through Maryland. I'm gonna go through the website, and there's some parts on the website that I are helpful. Shucks, man, we live in Maryland. There's a lot of funding that people are leaving on the table,
Right.
specifically, minority. Minority. You already know. It means everything. Minority can be anything, but that's not the point. That's not the argument right now. The point is, it says minority, so anybody that falls under that category, can benefit and can pull that funding for their particular
Right.
business. So that's women, that's black, that's Latin, that's
Pretty much
um,
everybody that's not I think the most
non-white.
said male.
Bang bang, right? Non-white. So what I normally do on the last session is I go into like the business side of it. Oh, now I'm going to do that. I go into the business side. So we have a benefit here in Maryland, man. They kind of like us with our website and the tools that they give us. This particular site right here, Maryland.gov or egov.maryland.gov is the particular site. But this is where the site you go to form a business. Am I recording? Let me not waste my breath because I mess
Um,
around.
um, the I know Victoria's fixing dinner,
All
and I
good.
know and by it being Christmas Eve, like I got some candy canes for us to put up on the tree.
It's all good,
So
bro.
I know you're doing content. I'm just saying that there may be a
Yeah.
point where you just talking to yourself.
Yeah, I'm used to it, so it's all right. It is all right. Yeah. What's up, Ricky? I see Ricky hopped on the IG. But yeah. It's all good, bro. Yeah. So egov.maryland.gov is Maryland's home site for everything business. So literally on the top, what's that? The top right corner of the website is where you would go to, apply for a business, maintain your business, manage your business. The part that I like going to and showing people, I got a couple stuff down here, but like the willpower business is me and Taryn's old business. Me and Taryn used to rock out in these streets, in these business streets. Oh, not that one. Wait a minute. Is it that one? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Bang. Just to get an idea of what it looked like. Willpower Business Elite LLC. That was literally our business for a couple years. Did it. It forfeited since now. Was running for 2 years. But one thing about Maryland.gov is, it gives you all the information about a business. This might not apply to the people that might watch this, but people that are in real estate, when they like, man, I gotta, I'm looking up a business and I can't understand who owns it. This is how you find out who's in the LLC, right? So if I'm looking, well, I don't do it because I don't want the headache. But if I'm skip tracing somebody and it comes back as a LLC and it's in Maryland, literally I go right to the Maryland.gov site. I type in the business and I can look at the articles of incorporation. And once you look at the articles of incorporation, you literally can get, an insight into who runs it. Wait, that's not right. Is that right? That felt right. Let's do it. Bang, articles of incorporation. So if I'm literally looking at who started the LLC, who owns it, the articles will pretty much give you all the background to everything. Willpower Business, you get the mission statement, you get the people on it, the resident agent. The resident agent is just the person that's on file that's going to, on paper, do everything. When you try to apply for credit, the resident agent is the person that they're going to ask for. When you go to the bank, the resident agent is the person that typically would have to come. So I don't know why I put Taryn there because I did everything. I digress. Beside the point. The point is, the articles of incorporation are right there. So again, like I said, this is 2011 ran until 2013, had a good run. And then it was no more. And then it was no more. But literally, you can literally run any business and pretty much find out. What I like to do on the business side, what I wanted to show tonight, I don't know why I just waved at Ricky. That seems kind of weird, but anyway, when you click that right corner, you can go to plan your business, start your business, register in Maryland, obtain your tax number, apply for licenses. Of course, you can get your tax number through the irs.gov, which is what I always do whenever I form my business. But they provide the resources. What I would like to say is like, Maryland is, I've been here all my life, but Maryland is like, they do so much for small businesses that people won't even know. One, because people don't have small businesses, but two, because they never, just research the actual site. But you can plan your business. So you literally can create a business plan, find the funding, pick the location. It literally will walk you through the whole process. So a lot of times people don't do stuff because they're just not confident. The website literally walks you through. The grow, that's the part that I like to go through. And you can pick different parts of who you are, what you are, right? So small minority and women owned. I don't know if they have run commercials in Montgomery County. I know they run them in Anne Arundel County and Baltimore City. But there's literally commercials encouraging people, black people and minorities to start a business because there's so much funding in Maryland for women and minorities that's not being used. It's just sitting, right? And in essence, it's December now. Let's start, first quarter is next week, right? January 1st. I can't even imagine how much money is left on the table every year from people not pulling these funds. when people not pulling these grants, right? So last week I was talking about business credit, right? Being able to create the business, get the EIN, business bank account, address, phone number, website, upload that to 411.com, apply for your Dun and Brad number, Dun and Bradstreet. That take about 2 weeks to come back to you. And once that comes back to you, then you can start to build trade lines on your, on your actual business. This is literally a different form of funding, right? This is a different part of looking through the links and trying to find something that fits what you're kind of into. So, I'll keep doing that. Let me see which one that I wanted to look at. So literally, whatever type of industry you in, it doesn't matter what type of industry. This is the good part about about the funding and about what Maryland offers. You literally and I know you like the tech stuff, Mike, or we, not you, not by yourself. We like the tech stuff. So if we were to start a tech business, they have legitimate funding for minorities in the tech space, and we can get up to, I think it's like 50,000. We can get up to 50,000 to go, no, 40,000 to go toward developing, basically a program that people can use. Not, of course, in tech that wouldn't be enough, right? We probably need more, but in essence, that's 40,000 we can pull into, just because of the type of business that we're starting. Micro enterprise loan program. That's the one I wanted to go in to kind of show some stuff. But it's, create opportunities for new businesses, development in Maryland, providing entrepreneurs with flexible funding and startups and expansions. So I wanted to click into that. Because one of these programs, and again, a lot of this stuff, you just have to go into the option and kind of look and research and see what it offers. Some stuff is a grant, right? And whenever it's a grant, you ain't got to pay it back. Some stuff is a loan, and whenever it's a loan, you got to pay it back. All right, that's simple math, right? 1 + 1 is 2. That never changed. So what I always say is look for the grants first, right? Because that stuff is just to be used to push your business. And literally, again, phone numbers, right? So you literally can call these people, Latino Economic Development Center, Anne Arundel County, Baltimore, Charles, Frederick. Call the 202 number, go to the website. I guess it can get easier, but I don't know how it can get much easier if you're trying to find funding for a business than to give you a literal number to people that can walk you through the process and get, provide you with the paperwork that you need to fill out, to be able to get access to those particular grants. Eligible businesses. This is the part I did want to go over. Retail businesses. What's a retail businesses? Like in the mall, right? All the stores in the mall, anything that has a storefront is a retail business. Manufacturing business, goods and services related businesses. Of course, you need to be located in the actual county, right? So whatever county, why does this thing keep going out? Whatever county you're trying to, you have your business in, you have to make sure you're applying for funding, for grants in that particular county. And a small business that can't exceed 500,000 in annual revenue. Most small businesses, are not making 500,000. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So in essence, you're qualifying, and no more than 5 employees at the time of the application. That's literally a startup. That's literally going to the website, filling out the paperwork, putting 2, 3, 4 people on the articles of incorporation, paying for the paperwork, getting that to come in. And then once you have your actual articles of incorporation showing how many people are in the business, you in the game at that point. You in the game at that point. Eligible use of funds. Here's the part where I'm not sure if y'all ever seen, like, some people have been using the PPP loans for foolishness, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because just because you qualify for these loans don't mean you can take the pull that money and then go buy a Bentley. It don't work that way. Whenever the feds give you money, they want to know what you're doing with it, right? Whenever the money comes from the government, this ain't, the money where you're gonna go do what you want to do with. Whatever that package is for, whatever you're applying for, you literally have to follow those instructions. You have to. You have to. Not an option. So what can you use the funds for? Working capital. Probably the number one thing that every business needs is working capital. Just throwing stuff in, and that may be like, everything you need to move the business forward. And maybe what is it? Software, maybe CRM, maybe paying contractors, maybe paying yourself, maybe paying a lease, maybe whatever you need to make the business grow. That's considered working capital. Marketing and planning, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, traditional ads, paper ads. These, that's considered marketing, right? So you can throw money into that. Real estate acquisition, down payment. So that's like an office, right? But here's the trick. Mixed use. Here's back to this is I got a class or a session. Week 3 talks about multi-unit, right? Multi-unit investing and different not funds, different strategies for multi-unit investing. Real estate acquisition down payment. When you apply for 4 units or under, like I said in that, well, yeah, I didn't take the class, but whenever you apply for real estate, right? Whenever you apply for a loan on a property that's 4 units and under, those are considered residential still, right? 5 and above is considered commercial. But here's the game plan, right? You can use the real estate acquisition down payment. So if we found a mixed unit space, meaning the bottom unit is used for commercial, right? It's used for a storefront. And it might have 1 or 2 apartment on the top floor, right? That's considered mixed use. You can use this capital. I know y'all can't see the Zoom I'm on right now, but this capital can be used for real estate acquisition for that down payment to get into that particular property. Again, there's ways to work the system. You just have to know, 1, what you're trying to accomplish, and then 2, the best way to get into these properties. But you can use that for down payment. Minor renovations, minor leasehold improvements. If you're leasing a spot, and you want to improve it, you can use some of that for that. Machinery and equipment. So depending on what type of company you have, not so much real estate. Real estate doesn't have so much equipment, But if you have, if you have a storefront, then you need a POS, a point of sales, right? So you might need a register, you might need a computer, you might need the actual software. Just to open the doors of the storefront, you need stuff to put in there, to make it a profitable storefront. That all includes in that particular, bullet point. Machinery and equipment. Certain other costs into expanding, opening or expanding the small business. Those are all the things that you're eligible to use the money for. But here's what you can do. So you can't use the money for transcendent living businesses, multifamily, single family housing developments, nursing homes, assisted living, crisis care centers, group home, transitional housing, homeless shelters. I feel a certain way about that. This Zoom isn't about that, but in essence, I was watching the live before I hopped on my actual Zoom, and basically people were talking about those people in DC, and the conversation was around, the homeless population and why is nothing being done to actually offset that, right? Stuff like this is what happens. It's called red tape, right? Red tape is normally in context is something that gets in the way of solving the problem. The problem, homelessness in DC. Getting funds would alleviate that, right? Somebody being able to pull funds and open up a building, right? A homeless shelter. Fix up an old multi-unit and redo them, and like that would help fix the problem. You legitimately cannot use the money for any of that. You can't. You can't. And there lies the, and that's something that we call red tape. Red tape. This isn't about that, so I'll move on. So no facilities like community halls, fire stations, hospitals, colleges, universities. Again, these are things in our community that we need. Hospitals of our own, colleges of our own, community centers, because they're being closed down. So on one hand, they're being closed down by the city, and on the other hand, you can't get funding for a business that may be perfect for a community center. You can't pull funding for that. You have to literally self fund, you know, that type of stuff yourself, which is counterproductive in my mind. But I'll move on again because I don't want to get sidetracked. No adult bookstores, no adult shops, adult entertainment facilities, gambling facilities, gun shops, liquor store, massage parlors, pawn shops, tanning salons, tattoo parlors. Self-explanatory, but really those are profitable businesses. If we keeping it real with each other. Everything I just named is literally not going to go under, no matter what economy. Matter of fact, the worse the economy, the better it might be for a lot of those particular things. Gambling, you know, gambling is going to be around forever. People can find money and scrimp up quarters, dimes, dollars, go to the slot machine and gamble, right? Pawn shops, tattoo, liquor stores, no matter how bad the times are, you're going to find people in that's going to spend money. Again, and for those who's coming in a little bit later, this is specifically in Maryland, right? Every single state has a state website. Maryland's is Maryland.gov or something. Gov.maryland.gov if I'm not mistaken. Every state has its own website. Every state you can go to, you can find grants for your state, for your county, right? This is just Maryland because I live here. So a lot of the questions that I get in my inbox are from people who live in Maryland or DC. But for the most part, it's still the DMV, so it still serves the same purpose. Again, minority, there's funding, business funding. The main thing is like starting a business, right? That becomes the like I was saying in my post before, I was talking about Trump, and I'm only saying Trump because he's the president, but like Trump and the what's it called, the COVID relief, the 600, and people talking about that, and then he vetoed that, and they went ahead and tried to redo it for 2000, and went through. What is it? It went through the House, or I keep forgetting which one's which, but it went through one, and the other side, killed the bill. So now they're back to, well, I don't know what they're back to. I haven't watched the news today, so I have no idea what they're back to. But in essence, the point of my post was like, they approved a budget for businesses, and it's already like set to take hold January 1st. It's not up for discussion. It's literally going to push through. Why is it going to push through? Because historically, rich people look out for rich people, right? So the funding, the PPP loans I'm talking about. So if you don't have a business, you don't qualify for any of that stuff. Talking about $600, $2,000. There's companies out here getting millions. And it's paycheck protection, right? So it's paycheck protection. It's supposed to be used to keep your business afloat. But the point is, much like these grants and these loans through the state, it's free funding. Not free. It's funding that's available for your business. They're always going to find a way to keep businesses afloat and flourishing. What may or may not happen, I don't have no confidence in any of these people. What may or may not happen is the actual public. I don't feel like the first thing that came out was literally $600. $600. And I read that and I thought it was a joke. This can't be real. This literally can't be real. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to take that. And it was real. 9 months for $600. So that I don't feel confident if you stay in that position, that's going to be able to do anything of substance, right, for you or your family. I just believe every family should have a business. There's no plan B for that. Like I just feel that way. Right. I just feel that way. Again, starting it isn't hard. What is it? It's December 24th. People at Walmart right now, Target, the mall probably closed. Online, there's Black Friday, there's Cyber Monday, there's small business. There's so many things to spend money that I stopped saying. I tell everybody that I stopped saying that we don't, as a community, that we don't have the money. I stopped saying that because I don't believe that to be true. What I believe to be true is that we have a, we have a, we don't understand what to do with it. Problem. We don't understand what to purchase, so we just purchase. This time of year is legitimately those times where we're like giving the wealth away, and then it's going to be tomorrow, it's going to be Saturday, it's going to be the first of the year, and it's going to be repayment time, and it's just a cycle, and it becomes a cycle, right? So literally just buy, instead of it's 150 to start an LLC in Maryland. It's typically $99 nationwide average, right? So between $99 to 150 to start an LLC. So in my brain, I'm like, we have the access to do that, but I don't know if we really, the follow through to actually do that. Starting an LLC is not mean you're going to be rich, but it means you're aligning yourself with the companies that they're going to take care of. Like I said in my post, they're not going to take care of me. They're not going to take care of you. It's not how none of this stuff works. It's not how any of this stuff works. They don't set up these operations to and I'm saying us as in the working class, right? They don't do that. They look out for business, for small, medium businesses, for investors, stock market, and it's been that way forever. It's been that way before I was here. It's going to be that way after I'm gone. So why not align yourself with whatever they're going to take care of? You can literally start a business, and as soon as you have your paperwork, you can start getting funding. You can always self-fund. You can always work a job, put your money into a business, spend money on business stuff, and keep that thing going. That's always a thing you can do. But literally, there's capital all around you. Like I was talking about on Sunday, business credit is the big numbers, right? Sorry, I got email. The big numbers with the business credit that you can get approved for, and those loans, a lot of them, they're not telling you what to do with it. You get approved for a business loan. You go through paperwork. They send it to you within, 1 to 2 business days. Now you have access to funding that you don't have to, like what I was going through on this slide. You have to spend it on certain things. With the business credit, and getting approved for that, you just got 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. It's like, and then the longer you are, the longer you're in business, right? And the more you pay and the more you build your business credit, the more it goes up, right? So year one, it might qualify for 500,000, up to 500,000. Once you become 2 to 5 years in business, you might mess around, good payment history and building business credit the right way. You might mess around and be able to pull millions from your business. Millions from your business. So now why are you worried about a relief? When you have access to capital yourself, right? Why are you worried about funding when you have access to capital yourself? When you remove the outside need for stuff, you just move different. You just feel different. Because you're literally self-funding the operation. And I guess I'm seeing it because I'm doing it, so I'm seeing the benefits, and the stress that that it takes from you, But I always say, I'm not saying it to be smart. I'm not saying it to be smart. What I always say is people would rather just spend their money. I do believe that to be true. I do believe people will rather be consumers than be owners. I do believe that to be true. Not because I just don't believe in people. It's the spending habits. Next week I'm gonna see a whole lot of new year, new me. Maybe, right? Maybe. But if you've been doing the same thing, for years, what's gonna change that? Because the year changes? Maybe. Again, that's a maybe. That's a big maybe. Maybe that'll be the case. I don't believe that to be true. I believe whatever you're doing now, you're gonna keep doing. My phone's going off. There's people not messaging me directly, but it's like commenting on the thread because it's one of those. Which one would you prefer? 300,000 cash or 820 credit score. And as far as I seen before I started the live video, I was the only one that had the credit score as and I have the answer, and then I go into like what you can literally do with that type of credit score. And people still are mad. It's not my post. I didn't tag nobody. I am providing a perspective, but because it's different from the perspective that's going on, people don't want to hear that. So I find it very interesting at people like what they will and won't, put up with in essence, right? To be educated, you have to want to receive the information. That's why I always tell people, people want to always, and I was like that, want to give information because it's like, yo, I learned something new and it's dope. It might work for everybody. You want to give it. People not ready to learn sometimes. People not ready to learn, so when I'm seeing a post and it's like, which one would you prefer, 300,000 or 820 credit score? And it's like, people like, yeah, I'm gonna do 300,000 because I'm gonna flip that. You're gonna flip it to what? I mean, that's not being a jerk. That would be the real conversation. What are you going to flip it to? Because I'm curious, because maybe I maybe there's something that I don't know that you want to put me on to, that you want to flip this 300,000 into an 820 credit score. Like maybe I can learn something, right? It don't work that way. Let me go ahead and be that guy. You can't purchase an 820 credit score. It don't work that way, right? You just can't. You can't go to Walmart, go to Al 5 and purchase it, right? You got to build it. That's how this works. You got to build it. Because if you can purchase it, everybody would just do that. Doesn't make any logical sense. If you can purchase a credit score, everybody would do that. You can't do that. The same way, if everybody knew what to do with 300,000, they would just do it, and everybody would be wealthy. But it don't work that way. People go broke. We always know about sports stars, right? Basketball players, football players. Mike Tyson is the one I always think on top of my head. People who play a sport and earned a high wage really quickly and really young. And what's the narrative with sports players? 3 to 5 years they're gonna be broke. The lottery winners, lottery curse, right? Why is there a lottery curse? If you're blessed, I don't say blessed, but if you're able to win a ticket and it provides you with a lot of revenue, a lot of money, in essence, where's the curse? The curse comes from not knowing what to do with it. That's where the curse comes from. Not really knowing what to do with the money you find yourself walking yourself into. I'm just not that naive to believe somebody's going to be able to flip 300,000 that's never flipped that before. What's up, Becky? How you doing? I'm not crazy to think somebody's going to be able to invest strategically if they're not doing that right now, right? If you're not doing that on your job, you're not going to do that when you get that 300,000. Don't work that way. It's it just don't work. I'm trying to find a way to be. Ah, man, maybe no, nah. We don't need fairy tales in our community, man. We don't need fluff in our community. We need truth, and it don't work that way. If you don't know what to put your money into to grow it, if you don't understand what an asset and what a liability is, if you don't understand the interest rate on savings account versus the interest rate on the IRA versus the interest rate on like an investment, a proper return, if you don't understand these things, then what are you going to invest in? How does that make any sense to anybody? How does that make any sense to anybody? I always wondered that. Like, how does that literally make sense to anybody where you're just going to magically know what to do when you get access? And that's why you don't get access to money. That's why we live in fictional worlds where we keep making these examples of what we would do if, what I'm going to do when. Don't happen like that. Don't happen like that. So my phone blowing up. off of people, and I haven't read all of them, but the one that I read before I started my live was a dude, and he was not liking my response because it was against, you know, the homies. I guess I don't know who cares. I don't know, but the point is, I'm past the point of fluff. I don't know how to fluff no more. I'm out of fluff. Sold out. I ain't getting nothing back. Right? We have to be real with each other. All I know, not all I know, but what I do know works for sure is starting your business, building business credit, being able to self fund your operation, whatever your operation is. Get the money and reinvest into yourself. Pay yourself. And then do it again. Get another business and then do it again. Before I hopped on, I don't know how long y'all been on, but I was talking about, I'm on a Zoom right now that I'm hosting. I'm talking about the state of Maryland giving grants out and us not getting the grants, right? Us not applying for the grants. Like I said before, I don't even want to know how much money we don't use in Maryland, like how much we just that's in the budget for small business and for minorities and for women, for black women, for Latin women, for everybody that's considered to be a minority. And we don't do it. So it's rhetorical, but I know what happens. But in my mind, it's like, if we don't use it, who does that money go to? Nobody is the answer. It doesn't go to anybody. So it's wasted. Again, January 1st starts 2021. That becomes the new, year. What's it called? Fiscal year, excuse me. The first quarter. The years go into quarters. The January, February, March is the first quarter. April, May, and June, second quarter. July, August, September, third quarter. And then October, November, December is the fourth quarter. This breaks down into 4 quarters, right? So the first quarter of next year is starting up. So for most states, counties, a lot of times they get, they get replenished with their funding for the year. My hope is that, one, you have an LLC. You have an LLC. 2, that you actually go out and find grants first, because grants you don't got to pay back. You find grants first, and again, they're giving them away for women. They're giving them away. The next business I'm gonna start is with my wife, a woman, right? Of course, that's my wife, but it's on purpose. It's a strategic business because she's a black woman. Check her out. She's a black woman. She's a minority woman. She's a woman. Like all the check marks means that when she applies for this funding, for these grants, they're going to see her as the ownership on the actual articles of incorporation, under 5 employees, live in a county that she's applying for, and I can't guarantee none of this stuff, but they may or may not approve the funding, the grant, and get it out in a couple of weeks. Up to 50,000, up to 40,000, excuse me, up to 40,000 of a grant you ain't got to pay back. That you can use for working capital right away. So I literally get you out the gate and you up. And of course, I'm gonna build the business credit on the backside. So I'm building the business credit. She's applying for the funding on the front end, and we're going to meet with the funding somewhere in the middle. And then, of course, again, like my post that I posted earlier for the LLC, when you're a business, America takes care of you. First and foremost, I didn't make these rules up, right? I didn't make it up. Size works, but they take care of you. The PPP funding is going to be in effect January 1. So how this works, while everybody else is like, oh man, am I getting 600? Am I getting 2,000? There's businesses that are going to be getting millions of dollars of funding from the government to stay afloat, because they're in position. All this stuff comes down to. This is what all my stuff comes, like my Zooms and my rants come down to, about being in position, right? Are you in position? I'm gonna start hashtagging that on my post. Are you in position? Simple question. What does that mean? Do you have an LLC? If you don't, it's time to get one. Offices are closed. You can't go to Baltimore, but you can go online. What's the site? You can go online to DH. Where, no, I'm not gonna do that. Let me go. Let me do a different one. It is, and I haven't even gotten to the tax credit, the loan grants, the venture capital part. Like Maryland has so many resources. They'll literally link you up with a venture capital company that's investing in your niche, whatever you're in, right? So if you pick dandelions, then you will find a venture capital company that's investing in people that does dandelion picking. Random, I know, right? But there's people that do that. There's venture capital companies that specifically seek out minority business owners. There's venture capital companies that specifically invest in tech for black men, for black women. There's venture capital companies that legitimately invest in Latin anything. How this works, Native American anything. Partner with somebody that has a good vision, has a great idea. Make sure both sides brings value to that relationship, but partner up and go into business strategically. That's my thing. Y'all don't know because y'all already take my class, but the strategic planning in business. That's what it's all about. So I'm not gonna go long. I think this is gonna be long enough. Let me see how long my Zoom been going on. It shouldn't be no more than like 25 minutes. Bang, bang, bang. Yep. So I am going to shut it off here. And again, like I always say, if anybody got any questions, please feel free to message or put them into the chat, and I'll get back as soon as I can. And or on this. Sweet, that's what's up. I see it, Mr. Brown. And on the Zoom, people that's watching on the Zoom, ask the questions, and I'll be sure to get back to that. Like always, I'm taking the Zoom and putting it up on my YouTube, and still building content. Content is king. Credit is king. Content is king. Both are king. Both will full disclosure. YouTube is paying people a lot of money, right, for content. Instagram is going to be doing the same. Matter of fact, Instagram is beta testing some stuff right now where they're going to apply it to certain people. You have to have a business account. One, that's the first thing you got to have. So you got to move your account from personal to business, if that's your thing. But so, and then once you have a business account and you have a certain amount of content on your particular page, Instagram is going to allow you to monetize that through something called badges. And badges is like me going live right now and people being able to actually put badges, what's a better term? Like being able to pay. So I may do a $5 badge. I may do a $15 badge. I like the number 5. I may do a $25 badge and a $50 badge. So what that means is that when I go live, people can literally select a badge and pay, right? And basically I'll see it pop up on my screen, and then that'll be deposited into my account tomorrow. I'm talking about through Instagram. So when I'm talking about creating content, I'm legitimately talking about monetizing YouTube, and I'm legitimately talking about monetizing Instagram. Social media is unregulated for the most part right now. It's going to be able. You're going to be able to monetize that if you're in position, right? If you're in position. Not saying everybody's going to be in position to do that, but just saying like you kind of got to think in advance. Is that my wife? Somebody trying to kill me. Anyway, you have to think in advance, right? You have to think, because when you if you're just trying to figure it out when it pops up, you're too late, right? I'm late on YouTube. I've been on YouTube, but I'm late on building my YouTube page. I fully understand that. Instagram, I'm not. Instagram, I'm ahead. Actually, I put up a lot of content on purpose. Because when Instagram flips the switch, I want to be able to monetize that from day one. Again, being able to earn money to monetize, these are important things for me. I can't make anybody else do something they don't really want to do. But as I always say, it's best to understand ways to leverage yourself. If you want to be on Instagram anyway, if you want to be on YouTube anyway, You know, why not? You know, what start a LLC. Why not? Right? Align yourself with the people that not the people. Well, yeah, the people in this country that are being taken care of, business owners and investors. Align yourself with that. You know, because they're going to be taken care of. That's always my point, right? Align yourself with that. Going against the grain and just trying to fight the system is cool. You know, but we ain't never going to win that battle. You know, but I digress. So I'm gonna shut it off now before it gets too long, and I will talk to y'all when I talk to y'all. Record and stop.